Testing 1, 2. I see that the levels are good. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Big Red 40. Good to see you, my friend. Let you know, Big Red 40, that your interview during the 24-hour-a-thon will be uploaded in the next few days. We're just putting up the 24-hour Kickstarter stream. We've been uploading the videos. It's in like 30 parts. No, it's actually like in like 15 parts, but I think you're part 6 or 7, but your interview, which was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see you and hear the voice and see the face to the voice. The handsome young man you are. Okay, let's see here. I'm just going to test out the hotkeys because we had the Tome Keeper, Devin, the illustrious Dungeon Master of Six Sides, working on that for me. So I'm going to push some buttons here. Let's see, left gives me nothing. There's the overhead. New terrain today. Check that out. Right gives me. Hi everybody, and that's the other one. Okay, so looks like we got all the good stuff. All right, so I got the 3 that I need. So just that one button is dead. Perfect. All right, so there's the overhead view. Right there. We are going to do some really crazy, cool storming of the gate, which is going to be a lot of fun. And you can see Lynnvander is going to be defending their impromptu mercenaries' home from the very angry clan that has the clan mechs that are sending units in to try and get back the Timberwolf that was recovered during the battle of last week's game. So you can see. Let's see here. Okay, so from here, you can see, you can just barely see past there that the Timberwolf is there inside the base. And we've got a little door here that you can go through. So the mechs will be able to go in and out, even though I can't slide that door up. The mechs can go in and out, and we'll get to the scenario in a second. I just want to say all of this delicious terrain here. So this terrain here is actually from Catalyst, I think it's Fox. Someone built this snow terrain. I think it was Fox Network that built the snow terrain. And then the trees were built by Josh, so hashtag blame Josh. And the rest of this delicious terrain is Tinkerturf. I don't think I assembled it correctly. There is an assembly to it. But Josh painted everything together, and I decided to mishmash it together to do some cool stuff. We've got these pylons and these barriers, and everything from the enemy is going to come this way. And what they need to do, what the objective for the enemy is that they need to get in, and you can see, I'll go to the wide for this one. You can see inside the fort. We'll do it this way. Inside the fort, right here, is one particular box with a plus on it. That box is the data that we had stolen. It is, and the parts are inside there. So the mechs need to get to that and destroy it. So we're going to have a modification rule to the mechs that in their combat phase section, I'm going to put if they can destroy the box, they will choose to destroy the box first, and the box has 3 health. So we're just going to have to take that box out. And that's going to be their primary command. It's going to subsede everything else they've got if they have a shot. And then in the movement command, they're going to be doing their best to get into the fort to try and treat that as an active enemy at all times. So they're going to be working very quickly to get through this gambit to get over to that box to destroy it. And a few ways they can do that is they can go through this door here. They can go up the stairs and over by climbing up difficult terrain. They can jump jet across, or they could, in theory, go up, jump onto these things, and walk over and jump down. So there's a lot of opportunity for them to breach the building. And so we just have to do our best to defend it by trying to goad them out, and maybe even sacrificing our guys in the process a little bit, maybe. Who knows? So let's introduce our warriors today. Over here, we've got, just down here, I believe, we've got the Enforcer. And that Enforcer, actually, there's a view here you can have, yeah. So there's the Enforcer just down here. That's the Enforcer that saved the day last time. So there's the MVP. That Enforcer is going to make his way to try and survive yet another battle. We've got the Timberwolf now. It's fully fired up. I'll give you the stats on it. We've got the Timberwolf Prime, 54 pointer. He's a brawler. and that's the Timberwolf there, painted by me, little Lynnvander mech. We've got a fire starter, which is sitting up here just to check things out at first. Because it's got a 12-inch jump jet, it can jump down and jump around, so I'll pick that out. But we'll start up here. We've got the Goliath tank. The Goliath tank is right there. So the Goliath tank is down here. And we're going to do the 3M2 Goliath. we're going to go back to the wide now. We've got the Skulker Wheeled Scout Tank sitting out here. It's going to run around and cause some havoc. The Devastator is over on this side and the inside and can come through the front gate if necessary. The Devastator, the DVS2 Mercenary. We've got the Ontos Heavy Tank over here because we need some firepower. Of course, like every game we play, we have to have the Pegasus Scout Tank. So the Pegasus Hover Scout Tank. And lastly, oh, sorry, I lied. And the Enforcer. And the Enforcer's here. So we've already called that one out. So we've got a whole pile of mechs here for you guys to deal with. And I'm excited. And that is our side. So I'll put that over there for now. Now, the aggressors. The aggressors. I decided that I wanted to torture myself. And so I have the Highlander 740. I mean, we had to get a Highlander for Lynnvander at some point. So we have a Highlander 740, a Catapult K2, and they're both going to be snipers. I've got a Blackjack BJ3 and a Thunderbolt 5S, and those two are going to be the brawlers. We have one simple skirmisher, and that's going to be my Wasp 5A. And then we've got our sniping unit, an Archer 7C, and a Phoenix Hawk 3K. So those are the aggressors. The points are approximately within 10 of each other. We're going to do, everyone's going to be skill 3, just to bring down the time and to bring up the explosions. And there's been some adjustments. There are some adjustments in the AI that we did recently that I'm going to pull off today, which is number one is instead of can destroy. So if you remember in the previous Aces, we had one of the commands is if you can destroy, that'll be the target. But you can't always destroy a target. So we're going to do a forced withdrawal system where it's instead of can destroy, it's can withdrawal as well, which means that if the AI can shoot one of our mechs and put it into a forced withdrawal level, that is considered a can destroy. So they will attempt to do that as well. So that will change the AI and quite frankly make it a little deadlier. So I'm going to take my sniper cards, put them here. Okay, here's my snipers. Put them down here. And put the sniper deck on top. I'm going to take my Thunderbolt and my Blackjack. I'm going to put them over here, give them the Brawler deck, keep them nice and separate. Put this little Wasp, keep the Wasp there. Put the Wasp all the way over here with this Skirmish deck, and then we'll take the Phoenix Hawk and the Archer, put them over here, and give them the Striker deck. No, come here. There we go. So this is Tinkerturf one more time, just for those who know. We decided we're going to use some Tinkerturf stuff because they were very kind enough to give us what's necessary. And so we're going to use this for this particular match and then get back to the Hextech stuff, and we'll go back and forth between Tinkerturf and Hextech. Now, what's interesting about the Tinkerturf is that it is a little big for what the mechs would be, but not necessarily because there are large industrial cities or forts that have walls that are much bigger than mechs, things you'd have to fly over, right? So we're going to go with, it's actually not too far off of what it needs to be. And yeah, there we go. Ooh, let's have some fun. Look at that. So I'm going to place my mechs out now, the bad mechs. And I'm just going to put them in some strategic spots. Let's see, snipers want to be sniping. Snipes want to be sniping. Put the Archer over here. Go back to the wide for this one. Put the Archer over here. We'll take the fire starter. We'll put him. Oh man, you can't even see this part of the map. How far does it go out? It was right about here. Okay, so we're gonna put them a little further up, so you can see them at the beginning here. We'll put the Thunderbolt behind this thing here. So you got this train track here that's hidden. We're gonna spread the forces out a bit. We're gonna put this this blackjack over here. Okay, into the woods there, and we're gonna need the blackjack. We're gonna put the Highlander over here, and we'll put the catapult dead center. Okay, I'll take the Phoenix Hawk and put it over here with the blackjack. I can just do a little modification to some of the terrain because I didn't realize that the camera doesn't quite pick up. I can zoom out a little bit. Let me zoom out a little bit and see what happens. Give me 1 second so I can get this thing zoomed a smidge. There we go. See a little more of the terrain there. Looks pretty good. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so we've got all of our enemies placed. We've got all of our friends placed. Let's see what happens. The cards out here. Oh my god, I'm a little nervous. So just to let you know, everyone is going to be skill 3 today, just to sort of get that through the board. I made myself a green tea. I'm just gonna put my green tea in the middle of the field here, so I can take the tea bag out. There. I love myself a matcha green tea. How are you all doing today, Battletech folks? People from YouTube, people from Twitch. There's a good portion of you that like to watch it, so get you queued in. Let's see here. All right. Let's do a little bit of adjustments, and then we will begin. Let's have a little conversation in the meanwhile. Just gonna put a little post out here. Yeah, I went a little bit late setting up because I was actually I was here on time to set up. I just decided to go crazy with this Tinkerturf stuff. I was like, whoa, gotta make it work. Go. Nope. Ah, I forgot to post where it is. All right, let's begin. Let's see here. Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy week myself. Let's roll some dice. Again, we're going to use the red for the bad guys, and we're going to use the gold for the Lynnvanderians and Lance Vander. But first, we're going to do what we're supposed to do with the AI. We're going to shuffle it up, put them out, shuffle up the next deck, and put out their commands. Shuffle the Brawler deck, pull out their commands. The Wasp, give the Wasp its deck, give its command, and we're good to go. I've got the marker, I've got everything I need, I've got my tea. Damn, this terrain is amazing. Damn, you're amazing. Hello, Edward Stevens, good to have you out. Painting Battletech while watching Battletech. It does not get much better than an afternoon like this. I am testing out a Battletech system for everybody while playing Battletech and hanging out with Battletech folks while they do Battletech things. Yes, this is Battletech Fridays with Lynnvander and Battletech Aces on Six Sides of Gaming. I do love having all you here. I'm going to have a sip of my tea. What happened to the feed? Did it go away? No, it says we're here. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're all here. Oh, we got a good crowd watching on YouTube. Thanks for watching, guys. Much appreciated. All right, so let's begin by rolling initiative. The enemies roll. Coming out the gate with a 9, folks. Coming out the gate with a 9. And I come out the gate with a 5. Well, we're off to a great start. Lynnvander is behind the 8 ball yet again. So that means we have to move first. 2, 4, 6, 7 mechs on their part versus 2, 4, 6, 8 mechs on our part. So we're going to move first. Okay. I have 3 tanks placed outside of here because the tanks have a difficult time getting over the walls. So they're going to run around the entire battlefield and cause interference. But my tanks move a little slower than the average bear. There's going to be a direct engagement here between these two real fast. So I'm going to need to get this Ontos tank moving. And the Ontos heavy tank, it wants to be in short or medium range. So it wants to get somewhere safe fast because it's about to get shot to shit, to be honest. How far does that Blackjack move? Blackjack moves 8. So that Blackjack can get to multiple places. And then this Phoenix Hawk, damn, is moving 12, which means that Phoenix Hawk can get right behind my tank if I try to move my tank over here. Man, they're going to breach this wall over here. This is going to be nuts. We're in big trouble, boys. Wow, okay. I think, oh my God, why did I put the tank there? The Ontos tank moves 6. So I don't really have much options as to where I can go with this guy without him getting shot to hell. So I think what I will do is... Where do I go with this guy? I put him in a bad spot. I should have paid attention as to where I put him when I put these guys out, because this is going to be rough. Real rough. I guess he could go here and just deal with the consequences. All right. You know what? He's hidden from everything here. So I think what the Ontos tank is going to do is he's just going to tuck in. He's going to tuck in and stay put. But he is moving, so he will get ground movement because he does want some TMM. And that's it for the Ontos. Now they go. According to my list, the fastest item or the fastest mech that was picked on the initiative order at 65 was the Thunderbolt. So the Thunderbolt, we flip it over, and since it didn't lose initiative, it will go right to its first thing. So ground move it into woods cover from most enemies. Where's my Thunderbolt? There's my Thunderbolt. Toward the highest health enemy. I think that's the Ontos tank or the Goliath. Either way, he's going this way. Toward the lowest TMM, which would be the tank, toward the highest point value enemy, which actually is the Ontos enemy. So guess what? This Brawling Thunderbolt is going to move 8 inches toward the tank, even though it doesn't have a shot. So it's 8 inches. It will want to go into ground or woods for most cover, so it can go behind this thing for cover or behind the tree. So I think we're going to go keep this assault going. And because it has the command of wanting to get toward the box, it will always move toward the box as well. So that's going to be a doozy. Oh my God, that's going to kill me so bad. And so the Thunderbolt has moved and is hidden from most enemies. The next on the list will be us. All right. I think we've got a flank of 3, which is going to be very devastating. So I think it's time for us to become devastating ourselves. The Devastator moves 6. So if it were to come out through the gate, it'll have no cover. So I got to figure out where to put this Devastator. The Goliath moves 8. So the Goliath can get out and can go through here. It can get to cover over here. It can go right behind there for cover and just take the brunt of it. Oh, man. The Enforcer has a 10 jump. So we're going to move the Enforcer now because I want the Enforcer to get moving. And I'm going to move this Enforcer to jump and support. So I want this Enforcer. So this Enforcer is going to go right down into the woods here. Right into the woods. Hopefully you guys can see where I put him. Tucked him right into the woods there. And because he jumped, we'll give him a red chit. There we go. And now the Enforcer is done. Let's see here. So I'll tap the Ontos tank. And I will commit the Enforcer's cards. Okay, back over to the enemies. Next on the list is 195, which is the Blackjack. So the Blackjack wants to go next. Blackjack itself is going to... Someone use a permanent marker on this poor Blackjack for his health. He has full armor still. 8 jump. So it is going to jump into the woods cover from most enemies, toward the highest health enemy, and toward the lowest movement value enemy, and toward the nearest enemy, with the tiebreakers going toward the box. So the blackjack is, where did I put you? Right there. So the blackjack is going to go toward the box, toward the lowest movement value, which would be the Ontos tank, as predicted, and the highest and the nearest enemy, which is the Ontos tank. So it is going to jump 8. And it wants to go into woods cover from most enemies. So if it jumps 8, so he's going to jump. Oh man, where's he going to go? What's he got here? He doesn't mind going short or medium. So we're going to put him. He'll get cover from this giant pylon if he goes there, and he can hide from the enforcer. All right. Most enemies. Jumping is a huge deal. It can do some cool stuff. Let's see here. Yeah. No, you know what? The right play is he goes inside here, and he tucks in. He jumps and tucks right underneath the railing, right there, giving him cover from the blackjack, cover from things out here, and he gets a shot with cover in, I believe, not short range. So it is long range still, just barely. And because he jumped, he'll get one of these. So there we go. Done. Hopefully you guys can't hear my dog tags too much. Okay, next is us. All right. It looks like the fight is getting pretty heavy over here, but I don't trust that the Ontos is going to be able to fight this on its own. So I gotta bring some more help out. Let's see here. I put the Timberwolf in the wrong spot. Let's do the Goliath next. No, the Firestarter, because it can do a 12 jump. So the Firestarter wants to get into the mix now too. Yeah, man. Oh my god, there's gonna be like no shooting this round. Devastator. Yeah, Firestarter's gonna jump over here. Right behind there. So no shooting for the Firestarter, but if it has indirect fire, it has. Does it have indirect fire? It has heat +1 and rear. Nope. Okay, so it doesn't have indirect fire. I forgot about indirect fire. That's the thing. Does the Enforcer have indirect fire? No. It has case, though, which is nice. All right, Firestarter's gone. Now we're going to go next on the list, which is 459, and that's the Wasp is going to go next. Ground unit toward the nearest enemy, furthest enemy you can get behind. It can also move toward the furthest enemy into woods covers from most enemies, and the Firestarter moves 16 at a jump. This wants to get to the box because it needs to get within range 1 to do damage for the box. So I think it can get behind quite a few enemies at 16. It can only get behind this, but that hasn't activated yet, so it won't go there. So it is going toward the fewest enemies in line of sight with a minimum of 1. I think he wants to go. What's funny is that it probably wants to go here. And believe it or not, because of the height and the tank, it can't actually see the tank. And I don't want that tank to go out in public and shoot it. So he is going to go toward there. And that's where he's going to hide out because there's no enemies to shoot him, really. That's where he wants to hide out. And now it is our turn. All right, time to move the Timberwolf just to get stuff out of the way. Timberwolf moves 10. I'm going to move the Timberwolf right up to the door. And the door hasn't been opened yet, but the Timberwolf's going to hang out there. And he does have indirect fire if he has a spotter. I believe Timberwolf has indirect fire 2. So the Timberwolf's going to do some indirect firing. Just need to get spotting going. Okay, Timberwolves done. Now we go to them. They have 4 left. We have 4 left. So I'm going to have to move 2 at the very end, and then they're going to get their last move, which is nice. Oh, crap. Sorry, guys. I had the chat off, so I couldn't see what you guys were saying. Hey, everyone. Cool. Nice to see the table using Tinkerturf terrain. Yes, thank you, Armored Gear, for putting it all together for me. Hey, what's up, Racer? Fox Network, destroy the Pegasus? No, no, never, never. Okay. Next on the list here, 505, we're going to move the Archer. Time for the snipers to get going. If no enemies within 24, we have enemies within 24. We've got the Pegasus and the Scout Tank. Move toward the fewest enemies in line of sight, minimum 0. So there's enemies. Toward the nearest enemy you can get behind, nothing. Is that the right deck for this, Striker? Yeah. Toward the lowest health enemy, which would be Enforcer, it would be actually the target that I chose. And into the woods cover for most enemies toward the nearest enemy. So the Archer's going to try and make its way to the box. It has indirect fire, but nothing can. It can't see the box because nothing can spot it. So it's going to move its 10 toward the nearest enemy it can get behind, but it's going to go toward the nearest enemy. And so in this case, the nearest enemy will be the box. So it will move 10 forward because it has a lot of help. It's going to go right here, tucked into this cool protective barrier, giving it cover, and that's where it will remain. Back to us. The Devastator moves too slow. I can't get this. If I bring the Devastator out, it's wide open for some serious devastation. I don't want to tangle with that Highlander. The Goliath at least moves 8. But the Goliath can at least... No, Goliath can't even get behind cover itself. The Goliath can get behind, line of sight from a bunch of things. Okay, I'm not moving the Goliath yet. I'm going to move the tanks now. This little wheeling tank, the Scout Tank, needs to get moving. And it moves. The Wheeled Scout Tank moves 14 on the ground with wheels. So I'm going to have fun with it. See if it doesn't get killed. Right behind there. And the Scout Tank is done. He's going to get blowed up real good. Such be the sacrifice, my friends. 848 for the Highlander. It's time for the Traitor Highlander to go. And it's going to go toward, if no enemies are within 18. Well, there is an enemy within 18. That would be the Pegasus. Weird that the Highlander is fighting the Pegasus. I'm in like some alternate universe, everyone. Toward 18 from all enemies. So it wants to make its way toward 18 from all enemies, in which case, as predicted, it wants to get up here somewhere. Toward the fewest enemies in line of sight, toward the nearest enemy. So it will move its 6 movement, and it will go and tuck itself right in here behind this thing. And hang tight. There goes the Highlander. Now, we've got 2 left, so we're going to move 2 now. And then it's going to move 1, we're going to move 1, and then it moves its last one. Hey, Richter, how's it going? I'm really running out of options here for these Highlander tanks. The Pegasus Scout Tank moves 16. So it could go... You could really play around with things. If it goes 16, I can put him behind the woods here. Right behind the Pegasus. All right, so... Scout Tank's tucking into the woods over here. Getting real tight. It's going to see if it can get a rear shot off on the Highlander. We're going to move 1 more now. Have to move the Devastator and the Goliath now. God, it sucks losing initiative so bad. Does the Goliath have indirect fire? It does have indirect fire 1. And the Devastator does not have indirect fire. So the Devastator's got to at least make a move. I think the Devastator is going to go right to the door here and just sit there with the Timberwolf in time for the explosive round of kabooming. And then we have to move The Goliath is the last thing to move. So now we're going to go on all the way here to the Phoenix Hawk, which is all the way on this side of the board. Phoenix Hawk wants to jump toward the lowest health enemy that has not yet moved, to woods recover from most enemies, towards the lowest health enemy, toward the fewest enemies in line of sight, into woods from most enemies, and toward the furthest enemy. So technically it wants to make its way toward the box. The lowest health enemy would be over here, so it could decide to go over here, but it does want to prioritize getting to that box in the center. So according to its overwrite, it's going to do that. And in doing so, it's going to notice the Goliath and play toward the Goliath. So this thing jumps 12. Darn it, that's a rough and tumble right there. So to fulfill its objective toward going toward the lowest health enemy, which happens to be that box, it will go and jump literally right here into cover from this, which gives blocks line of sight from that, and it's going to try and take on that Enforcer. And the Enforcer doesn't have much in terms of armor compared to that, and I think the Phoenix Hawk likes to do the damage at that range, so that's where it's going. And then the last movement is the Goliath. The Goliath moves 8. Now, I think I got to bring that Goliath out, because the last thing they get to move is the Catapult. And the Goliath doesn't have indirect fire. Oh, it does have indirect fire. The Goliath will stay stationary. Let's go stationary. Yes, special thanks to Tinkerturf for this one. Let's see here. All movement is complete except for the Catapult. Catapult flips over. If only one enemy in line of sight, it stays stationary. Does it have any enemies within line of sight? Let's take a look. According to this, technically, it has the Pegasus in line of sight. It also has this little guy in line of sight. All right. Well, if only one enemy in line of sight. So no, it has multiple enemies in line of sight. If you have woods cover from all enemies, which it does, so then it will stay. It will stay still and cause havoc. Very clever of you, Catapult. Ladies and gentlemen, all the movement is complete. It is time to enter the firing round. In Battletech Aces, because I noticed last video people were attempting to correct that the way the initiative roll goes with who shoots who. In Battletech Aces, the human player shoots first. Always. Regardless of initiative roll, the human player always shoots first. The reason for that is because the AI has a bit of a cheat mechanic to it, which compensates for the humans being able to shoot first. And since Battletech, everything shoots kind of at the same time, this is the way that it pans out when there is an AI in play. So we will do the humans shooting first. My first shot, grab my dice here. I'll grab these dice. My first shot, let's see here. Let's put this guy into the back of the Thunderbolt. So the Skulker doing 1 damage in the back of the Thunderbolt. Everything is skill 3. Short range, yada yada. TMM for the Thunderbolt is 1. So it's 4. And that's it. So I need 4s. Here we go. Clink, 10 damage, or 10, which means I have successfully dropped 1 + 1 in the behind. So 2 damage into the Thunderbolt, barely touching its armor. But we put a little paint scratch. So it's flashing its flashlight, popping its little pin into the back, doing the best it can. The Thunderbolt has been shot. The Pegasus. Pegasus is going to do the best it can to pop into the back of the... Does it want to hit the Highlander anymore? Highlander's got a lot of armor. It could start chipping away. Theoretically, it could chip away at the Catapult. Though it does have short range on the Highlander. So, 1. Yeah, we're going to hit the Highlander. So, the Pegasus is rolling at skill 3. It is short range. The Highlander has no armor, or has no cover. The Highlander's TMM was 1, so we're at 4. So the Pegasus is shooting 4s. And because it's short range, it's going to put 2 damage plus 1 into the back. That is a 5. So it is barely a 4. That's a 5. So I can take the marker now, and we can say that we've chipped 3 armor of the 9 armor the Highlander currently has. So that's fired. Let's get this Ontos tank shooting. Let's have some fun with this. The Ontos tank has a rotating turret. And in theory, it can shoot the Highlander if it wants with cover. It can also shoot this thing, and it can shoot this blackjack with cover at medium range that jumped, a little harder to hit. I would say it does not have a shot here because of angles. Yeah, it does not have a shot against the Firestarter or the Archer or the Catapult, and it cannot shoot the Phoenix Hawk. So I think the Ontos should shoot this blackjack and try to wipe this thing off the table because it will put it into force withdrawal mode if it hits. All right, here we go. Blackjack. So, skill 3, covers 4, jumping is 5, 6. Sorry, 5, and the TMM is 1 for 6. So I need 3, 4, range 5, 6, cover 7. Right? Skill 3, range 2 is 5, cover is 6, jumping is 7, TMM 1 is 8. So it needs 8s. Oh, 9 damage. Kaboom! Blackjack. Boom, boom. 4, 5, 6, 7. That puts us into half of its hull. Roll for crit. We got a 7. Grab my swick little table here because I don't memorize these like Randall does. MP hit, movement point hit. So in its force withdrawal, it's going to be hobbling its way home for 1 movement value point reduced. Kaboom! Ontos tank. Well done. Enforcer. Enforcer is going to take a pot shot at the Phoenix Hawk, and the Enforcer over here is in medium range. Skill 3, 2 for range is 5, cover is 6, and the Phoenix Hawk has got a 2 TMM for 8. So it needs 8s. That's correct. Let's go for 8. Boom! 9. This is my revenge throw, guys. I'm going to win against the AI today. The Enforcer hit at medium range, does 2 damage, 9s into the Phoenix Hawk. So 2 damage goes clink, clink, 2 pieces of armor go falling off. It's still alive and totally fine. Eat 1. Oh, wait. I made a mistake. We're going to have the Pegasus reroll its roll. I didn't spot. Oh, no. I was supposed to spot. I'm spotting. I'm going back. I'm spotting. I can't remember what the Pegasus rolled. I'm pretty sure it was a well-placed hit, though. Or it was just on. So I'm going to reroll for the Pegasus. 3, 4 for the close range. TMM was 5. 6 because it's going to spot at the same time. So it got it still. All right. So all is good, and the Pegasus or the Highlander has been spotted. Now for the rest of my shooting, let's do the indirect fire. And indirect fire. All right. Just because we're learning here, and I'm a fairly new Battletech player, I want to really enjoy this one. I don't know if you can do this, but I want to spot a different mech. I want to spot this thing here because it makes sense. I want to spot the wasp because it makes sense to take that wasp off the board because it can get to that. It can jump and get to the box and kill it in a couple of rounds and make it very difficult for me to win the mission. So with that, Pegasus is going to spot this, and we're going to indirect fire this thing. And if I have to spot the same thing I'm shooting, then then I'm sorry if I've messed that up, guys. But I'm going to spot this. Let's go right to it and see what it looks like. Nope, there we go. Let's see here. Let's fix the camera here for a second. There we go. Okay, I'm going to spot this thing right here. Now, Timberwolf has indirect fire 2, skill 3. The TMM on the Wasp is 3, so 6. Cover for 7. Indirect fire for 8. So I need 8. Boom, 8. That does an indirect fire 2. Oh, range, 9, 10. Crap, right? So it's 3, 6, 7, 8 for range, 9 for cover, 10 for indirect fire. That fails. Darn. Good call, good call. Good call, brain. Good call, brain. All right, well, the Timberwolf failed. Can the Goliath indirect fire 1 on it? At least take its armor down. It's got 2 armor, 1 hull health. So indirect fire. Same thing, 10s. That is a 9, which is also in German for no. So that missed. All right, well, we tried. We gave it a good shot. Gave it a shot. Gave it a shot. I think because the Devastator doesn't have indirect fire, we're done. Cool. We fired. It is now time for them to fire. Number 1. Following the order in the opposite direction, the catapult's going to take a shot. Catapult, let's see here, can destroy, which also means now can withdraw. And currently, if it does damage, if it shoots, it does 3 damage at its current range. It could hit the Pegasus. And if it hits the Pegasus and hits it, it'll take all of its armor off, which won't count. It could shoot the lowest TMM enemy, which actually, according to this, would still be the Pegasus, because the Pegasus is and the Skulker are the same. So it could shoot the Skulker or it could shoot the Pegasus. It can kill the Skulker, so it's going to go after the Skulker, because then it goes toward the range band and the nearest enemy. So it wants the Skulker. Nice clean shot. That is medium range still, I believe. Oh, no, that's long range. Oh, no, it will go after the Pegasus then, because it wants to go toward range and then the nearest enemy, which is the Pegasus. So it's going to pop shot on the Pegasus. So it's skill 3, 4, 5 for range, 6, 7, 8 for the TMM on the Pegasus, and cover is 9s. So it needs to shoot 9s. -1 because it stood still. We're hitting on 8s. Well, that's an 8. So 3 damage to the Pegasus. Clink, clink, clink. And that is all of its armor. One more hit and that thing is toast. Nice shooting, Tex. That's the catapult. Next on the list would be the Phoenix Hawk. All the way over here, we got the Phoenix Hawk. And it is basically, its only shot that it can calculate is that it can shoot the Enforcer. I could go through the logic, but the logic dictates, just by basic math at this point, that it's going to go after the Enforcer. And the Enforcer did do 2 damage to it, so that's at least good news. So let's do the same thing back here. Skill 3, medium range, 4, 5. 6 for the Enforcer's defense. The Enforcer, 7, 8 for the TM. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cover 8, jump 9. That is Snake Eyes. So no such luck, friend. And now we're going to move to the next highest on the list, which is the Highlander. Can destroy. Does not have rear fire. What can it even shoot? Because it can destroy a lot of things if it hits. It can shoot nothing. There's too many things in the way to shoot the little Pegasus. It can, however, see the Ontos. So it will shoot the Ontos. It is definitely long range. So it is going to be 3. Long range is 4, so 7. The Ontos's TMM is 1, so 8. And it has 2 points of cover, so it's 9. But we don't give 2 points of cover, so it's 9. It's got to do 9s. Ooh. Oh, thank God. A Highlander at long range is still 3 damage. Ontos does not want to take that hit. That would be the Highlander. Next on the list, going down, is the Archer. The Archer wants to shoot the thing it can destroy as well, which I think in this case, even if I were to go follow the rest of the logic, it's the lowest health, and it does have a shot at the Pegasus, because the next is the lowest TMM, which ties with the wheel tank, and the lowest range nearest. It is shooting the Pegasus. That was a bit of a sacrifice, actually, guys. Super sorry about that. So 3, medium range, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for cover. Oh, that's a 7, so it misses. And then we move our way to the Wasp. The Wasp wants to shoot the lowest range, highest threat TMM enemy. The only thing I think it can see, if we even give it a point of seeing, is this little Pegasus scout tank, because it is not in the right firing arc to shoot the. So it's going to shoot the little Skulker. 3, range 4, 5, TMM 6, 7, 8, cover 9. That is a 7, otherwise known as a failure. I'm gonna have a tea break. Oh, I love green tea. Okay, so it missed. Little wasp failed. Next on the list is the blackjack. Blackjack is going to try and take a pot shot back on the on toast just based on its actually it can in its current state it can shoot the wheel, the skulker wheel. Does it care about shooting the skulker? Did not expect that. So, you know what? It's actually going to shoot the skulker because the blackjack deals 3 damage. Range, lowest range. They're both in the short. They're both in medium range band. Can destroy. It can destroy the everything. Can destroy the skulker wheel tank. No cover. That's the wheel tank. Lowest TMM would be the Ontos, and the nearest is the Ontos. So it's actually going to shoot the Ontos. So we'll go 3, 4, 5 for range, 6 for the TMM, 7 for cover, 8 for jumping. 8s. That would be 5. Good old whiffaroni. And lastly, we've got the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt cannot see the tank. Actually, nope. The Thunderbolt cannot see the tank. The Thunderbolt does have indirect fire. Nothing spotted for it. But the Thunderbolt does have eyes all the way across the board on that beautiful little Pegasus tank. So the Pegasus, long range. So 3, 4, 5, so 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1 point of cover is 11. So it needs to hit 11s. Oh, that is a 7. It misses. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out, Red Eye. We'll see you back shortly. Well, that is the end of the round, folks. And the scoreboard for that is Team Lynnvander scored a grand total of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of damage on the enemy, wiping out lots of bits of armor and causing a forced retreat for the blackjack. And the invaders that are attacking caused a total of 3 armor hits on the Pegasus scout tank, causing it nothing to retreat. So far, so Gucci. So now I'm going to take away all these little tokens. I could really use winning initiative right now. Like right now. Right now. I need initiative. So if you guys don't mind sending some of your vibes my way, please, I could use some serious initiative. Okay. All right. All the tokens are pulled away. Here we go. Enemy initiative. Huh. Ooh, 4 for the enemy. Hubris. 3, 4, 5. We win by 1. 1 initiative for Lynnvander. All right. First things first. Take my striker cards here. Redeal the cards out. Take my sniper cards here. Redeal the sniper cards. We're going to take my brawler cards here and redeal the brawler cards. See what happens there. And lastly, the skirmisher with the wasp and redeal that. Okay, well, they got to move first. So I'm going to reset all my cards here. All right. Since they move first, we'll go to the lowest count, which happens to be the Thunderbolt again. And the Thunderbolt is, if first, jump, but doesn't have jump yet, so move to 24 from all enemies and woods cover from all enemies. Into woods cover from most enemies, the lowest TMM toward the fewest enemies in line of sight, toward the highest point value, and toward the nearest enemy. It is doing a strategic withdrawal, but it wants to stay within 24. Because it was first, it needs to get the heck out of dodge. So within 24 is pretty much all of the board. So we're going to say it is going to move to... It wants to get woods cover from most enemies. I think it's going to move... How does it move? It moves 8. It's going to go right back here. Actually... It's going to go right back here, which gives it cover from most enemies. A little bit of a withdrawal after it gets its paint scratched by that Pegasus scout tank. Now we get to move. Huh. I mean, I could just sit in indirect fire with these guys because they got to move in, right? That Thunderbolt had to retreat because it didn't want to tangle with the Yontos. Let's see. The Timberwolf can probably come out and do some stuff. Maybe the Pegasus. No. Let's move the Enforcer. Enforcer moves 10. It can jump 10. You know what? I'm going to move this little wheeler. I want it to be a little sacrificial lamb. Just going to stay on him right there. I'm going to stay on that Thunderbolt's rear. Maybe it wasn't the best move, but give it a shot. They go now. Next on their list is 166. Yes, so that would be the Wasp. So the Wasp is going next, which is really weird. Let's see here. It wants to go 218 from the nearest enemy, into woods cover from most enemies, into line of sight from the lowest TMM enemy, into line of sight nearest enemy within 24, and toward the nearest enemy. Now, I think it wants to ignore its goal, and it is going to move its 16 and go right here. Get right behind this little tank. Wants to take it out, get rid of this little tank, and then move forward to its objective. Let's see here. Hey, what's going on, the Big Nate Show? How you doing? Okay, it's moved. Now we get to move. I think it's time. It's time to take some action, boys. Let's go with... Oh, I forgot about this guy. I forgot about the fire starter. Let's get that guy moving. It can jump 12. Fire starter's going to jump 12. Yeah. What's the fire starter good for? Fire starter is good at short range only. It wants to get short. Forget it. It's time to rock and roll. Time to get the Timberwolf out. Moves 10. Timberwolf moving 10. Can get it right into there. So, Timberwolf's going right here. No. Does it make sense to stay just behind the wall and just keep shooting? I feel like that just makes sense. And just keep indirect firing these guys and forcing them to get. But then again, if we come out and meet them in the battlefield, there's less likely chances they're going to get to that box. Because if we wait here and they get too close to the wall, they can breach the wall and start shooting the box as priority. We'll go one more round. We'll do one more round with indirect fire and see what happens. So the Goliath, I think it's going to be a slow burn on this one. So in that case, we'll make the Goliath, we'll make the Timberwolf stand still. Timberwolf staying still. Now they go. Next on the list is 212, which is the Highlander. Jump within 12 to 18 of all enemies, which would be toward the base again. Jump onto the highest elevation. Oh, it really wants to play this game, doesn't it? So it wants to do a 6 jump to the highest elevation it can get, which is actually up here. Can it shoot the box from here? Can it see the box from there? Because the elevation is very similar. It can see the box from there. Oh, no. 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 That's bad. We might just lose the game. Because it does, at long range, it does 3 damage. Well, that's what it's doing. It wants to move within 12 to 18, and it is going to get closer. So that, dear friends, that Highlander is going to get us. It jumps up here. I mean, it's going to have a hell of a range against the box. It's long range. Oh, no. I got to soak it. Oh, my God. There you go. I've got other views. Don't worry. So it just jumped up. Oh, man. Yeah, I can punch in. I just have to readjust the cameras if I punch in. Let me just adjust a few cams here for you, and then we can make that work. Just gonna quickly do a little adjustment here, and I can move this camera over. Just 1 second, guys. Okay. So far, so good. I've just adjusted a cam here. Let's go over to it. Boom. You can see in the top left corner of the frame, we've got ourselves that Highlander that's creeping in. The goal of the Highlander is to take out this box right here, and it has a clean line of sight on it now over top of this wall because of its height and the height of this wall over here. I got my 3 mechs hiding behind the wall like a bunch of cowards that are now going to have to act to save that box's life, because if 3 points of damage get done to this box, the AI just immediately wins. And that is not good. Oh, no. Oh, no. And then over here on this side of the battlefield, we got the catapult and the archer kind of moving in. We've got the Pegasus hover tank is hidden behind the woods in here. And we got the Ontos heavy tank hidden all the way over here. There's a bit of a skirmish going on further on out on this side of the battlefield, out on this side of the battlefield here. And over here. And then we've got this little 3-way going on back here. So it's getting a bit messy. We'll go back to the overhead view. So the AI system is working very well. Yeah, I think the AI system is going to win the game before we even have a chance to shoot it. So that was the Highlanders' move. We get to move now. So far, all we've moved is the Timberwolf and the Skulker. So I think now whatever we move has to be able to draw fire from that Highlander. And I think at all costs, I think the thing we have to do is put that fire starter in front. So the fire starter that's over here, the fire starter that is hidden literally right here behind the wall, I'm going to have to move this fire starter. So 12, it can jump 12. I think it jumps 12 here. Sacrificial lamb. Sacrificial lamb. He's going to fire right there. And he's going to go for jump. And the reason why the fire starter did that is because the Highlanders combat command will want to shoot the thing. No, wait, because they'll shoot the TMM. It needs to shoot something that's in closer range. As long as this was within 24, it will shoot. It is. Okay, so it will shoot the fire starter likely. So I am goading with the fire starter. Well, good luck, fire starter. You've done well for us. You have 6 health. The thing does 5 from a distance, so that is a forced withdrawal. That's not good at all. We'll see. We'll see what happens next. Okay, next on the list for them, moving in speed order, is the catapult. The catapult wants to, if any enemies are within 12 to 18 from all enemies, it wants to move to all enemies within 18. Sorry, if any enemies are within 12, it moves to 18 from all enemies. Goes to the highest elevation, does not jump, so it moves toward most allies in line of sight, facing most enemies, and into the line of sight of the lowest TMM enemy toward the nearest enemy. Well, I think it wants to just get closer to the battlefield, so we're going to move this catapult 8. But he wants to get within, so he can go through that. So I think this catapult is just going to go here. Right there. It needs to get, it's assaulting. It's got to assault the base. All right, back to us. The Enforcer. Enforcer can move, not the Enforcer. The Devastator can move 6. All right, it's time to pop this. It's time to do it. We got to do it. Devastator comes out. We'll tuck him right up against the wall here. Get cover from these boxes. All right. Devastator, gates open. Devastator comes out. Gate closes. And now we'll cut to the other side. Boom. The Devastator comes out, hanging out right here. And he's going to try and tangle with that Highlander that's just over here, which I can go to wide. Give me a second here. I will go to the wide, and then I will adjust that camera real quick, see what I can pull off. See if I can actually widen that one a little bit so you can see the Highlander. There we go. That looks good. There we go. There. Okay. Highlander's hanging out here. Devastators come out to play a little game. They're going to shoot each other up. Catapult's probably going to pop the Devastator, but I mean, what can I tell you guys? The AI has literally forced my hand. Now that the Devastator's gone, it is time for them to go again. Moving up on the speed list here, they've got 3 mechs left to move, and we've got 4. So they're going to move their Blackjack now. The Blackjack, which is over here, is in forced withdrawal, so it needs to get the hell out of Dodge, and it's going to move 8 away from the battlefield. Right there. Forced withdrawal. See you later, Blackjack. Okay, we got to move now. They have 2 left, so we have to move. When does that happen? Did I make a mistake? We have more than they do. Oh yeah, so we got to move 2. Oh, we want initiative. So we move 1. They move 1. We move 1. They move 1. Okay, so we have to move. Oh, we're twice, so we move 2 right now. All right, so we got to move 2. Time for the Pegasus to do something here. I think the Pegasus is a shot into the rear. I think the Pegasus moves over here. So the Pegasus is going to go behind this wall here, and he's going to get here, and it's going to try and get a shot into the rear. That's where the Pegasus is going. We got to pepper that guy down, or it's game over. Yeah, we got to pepper that guy down, or it's game over. So the Pegasus has moved all the way over here, hidden into these snow bunkers, and he's going to try and pop this Highlander right there. Let's see how that works. Shoot, that's nut sauce. Okay, we got to move again. So the Pegasus has moved. It's time for the Ontos to get the hell out there and do its. The Ontos has to take this. Okay, the Ontos is going to move 6. Is this just Bloodbath? Is this just bloodbath.com? It's bloodbath.com. That is 24 exactly. Right there. There it goes. It's parking right in there. It's got no cover from the Thunderbolt, but it's got to take that Highlander out. Oh, the things we do to keep the objective alive. Now they get to go. Next on their list is the Archer. The Archer wants to, if no enemies within 24, to where the fewest enemies in line of sight would be. So all the enemies are within 24. So it wants to go behind the nearest enemy it can get behind. It cannot get behind any enemies, so it wants to move toward the lowest TMM, which in this case would be one of these 2. So in this case, it will move forward. It's 10 into cover, and it can get right there. So Archer's moving into here, into cover, hanging tight, and I think the Archer and the Catapult together are really going to cause some havoc for my guys there. Let's go to the other frame here. There we go. As you can see, the Archer and the Catapult have both moved up. They're hiding behind this giant pillar thing here, and they're going to try and take out these 2 guys over here and do some real havoc and damage. So that's going to suck. So we get to move 1 now. No, they have to move again, because all that's left on my side is the... Oh, no, I've got the Enforcer and the Goliath, and all they have left is the Phoenix Hawk, which is all the way... Phoenix Hawk is all the way over here. So... let's move the Goliath. The Goliath needs to get out and do some damage. So the Goliath is going to come out 8. And it does good damage at all ranges, so it doesn't really want to do much. Does the Goliath just want to get over here and just shoot that thing at long range and just like extra damage? I think that's what the Goliath wants to do. Yeah. Goliath is not going to go out into the public, because if it goes out into the public, it's going to be wide open for shooting, and we don't want that to happen. So the Goliath is going to go over here. It'll move 8, which is 6 to the thing and 2 to get up. So it will go right there. Climb its way up there. We'll just say it kind of goes around to the box and gets its way there. And the Goliath will get a TMM movement of its regular weight. There we go. Now you guys can see that the Goliath is here with the fire starter, and they're going to do their best. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 possible indirect fire from the so 4 mechs shooting at it, plus the indirect fire from the Timberwolf and the Pegasus. So 6 mechs, 6 of my 8 force is shooting that Highlander to try and save the box, this objective marker from getting destroyed, because the AI was smart enough to read the objective marker and jump the Highlander in view to shoot it. That is uncanny. Phoenix Hawk's turn, and then the Enforcer. Phoenix Hawk is going to jump if the lowest health enemy has not yet moved, or to woods cover from most enemies. It is going to toward the highest enemy you can destroy. Minimum fewest 1 line of sight. Into woods cover from most enemies toward the furthest enemy. Well, I hate to say this, but according to the logic of this addendum I've done, this thing wants to jump toward the box. And it can do that right now. It doesn't state, it says toward the furthest enemy it can get behind, and the box is considered behind at all times. It could actually just jump behind and get to the box. So it is going to jump here. But if it can, it'll get cover from these guys, which means, I'm knocking trees over here like I'm some sort of god. Are you a god? Then die. Let's see here. Yeah, you know what? It's going to jump right here. And there's a blockade, a line of sight cover that from the Goliath and the Firestarter, and it's even behind, so it's actually quite secured, and it's going to get a shot off on that target. Oh, it's not good. But it did jump, so TMM and stuff is up. And it is not within 6 inches, luckily. It is just, so it is considered medium range still. Wow, that's pretty gross. Okay. And then the last thing is our Enforcer. Now, luckily, actually, this would probably go back here. It's back here. There we go. Now, luckily, our Enforcer gets to go last, and it is a 10 jump. So it actually is going to keep tangling with this disgusting Phoenix Hawk. And its 10 jump will put it into a pretty safe position. So I think it wants to, let's see here, we'll go close up to this one here. Oh, we're already there. Okay, cool. It wants to get a shot off on this thing without it happening. So it can 10 jump. Yeah. Can't get behind, so we're not going to bother getting my defend it at all costs. Boy, they've really caused us to jump back. This is crazy. This is crazy. Everything has moved. It is time for combat. Go back to the Y because it's the best to read the dice. Actually, I think. Oh, sorry, guys. That's the best one to read the dice. If I drop the dice here, you can read them. Yeah, maybe. Oh, here we go. This is going to be crazy. So, in Aces, humans shoot first. Well, I'm going to dump everything I can on that Highlander. So, first things first. Let's take the hardest heavy hitter we got. The Ontos heavy tank at medium range, which we discovered it was just in 24, is 7 damage. That would put the armor, that would go into the hull and cause a crit to the Highlander. So let's take that shot. So the Ontos heavy tank hanging out right here, which I'm just going to quickly do a little, there we go. The Ontos heavy tank is right here. So that thing is going to take a shot at the Highlander over there. And let's give it a round. Okay. Skill 3, medium range is 5. No cover, but jumping, 6, +1 for the TMM is 7. So the Ontos tank needs 7s to score a hit. Oh my god. Can you guys see what that is? Let me just tip them toward the camera a little bit. You know what that is? What does that look like to you? That's not an 11. That's a Snake Eyes. So the Ontos rolls a Snake Eyes. That is disgusting. Okay, well, the Ontos missed. Let's do the Devastator. Medium range, it does 7 damage as well. So let's go with skill 3, medium range, 4-5. Jumping is 6, TMM is 7. So 7s for the Devastator. 4. Sweet, guys. Sweet. I'm missing. So 4. Yeah, sucks. Well, I'm going to throw the Pegasus from all the way over there into the back, and it's going to spot for me because I have a feeling the Timberwolf's going to have to drop some indirect fire. Pegasus is skill 3. It is medium range, 4-5. No cover. 6-7. So the Pegasus needs 7, needs 8s. Pegasus needs 8s. And there is a 9. So the Pegasus actually hits. And it does 2 +1 from the rear, which takes 3 more armor off the Highlander, putting it down to 3 armor left, but it is now spotted. Oh, man, thanks, Big Red. I know, I wish. But you know what? It would be wrong of me to cheat the numbers when I'm trying to test this awesome system out. But I love you so much for that. Thank you. 550 makes a huge difference to the bottom line. I'm going to take that 550 and I'm going to dump it into some more terrain, or in this case, some more, I'll put it toward more camera angles. So here we go. I really appreciate that. And we got to get you up here sometime to shoot some stuff with us. Whenever you want to come up to Canada, we'll house you, and then we'll shoot some Battletech with you. So the Pegasus takes a shot. Cool. So the Ontos failed. The Devastator failed. The Pegasus hit, because of course that's how the game plays. And it also has spotted and said, "Hey idiots, there's the Highlander. Shoot the stupid thing." So let's get back to let's just do the indirect fire now with the Timberwolf. Indirect fire 2. So the Timberwolf is 3. I think it is in medium range. We've determined that if the Ontos tank is in medium range, then this is 100%. So it's 3, 4, 5. Jumping is 6, 7 for TMM, and 8 for spotting. So I need 8s. Never too late for 8s. Well, I got half of 8, so it's 4. So the indirect fire from the Timberwolf stinks, but we've still got 2 other mechs that can shoot. So we're definitely in medium range for the Firestarter, but it looks like medium range for the Goliath too. So the Goliath and the Firestarter are medium range. The Goliath's going to take a shot next. Medium range for the Goliath does 3 damage. So with 3, 4, 5, 6, I'll give that wall a bit cover. 7 for jump, 8 for TMM. So I need 8s. Do it. Where'd my dice go? Oh, they're there. Do it, do it, do it. 8s. That is a 7. I lose again. And the Firestarter, finally. It does only 1 damage. But hey, let's do it. So we're going for 8s. Hey! Oh! Oh! Look at that! Boom! Critical hit! Not that it's going to do anything, unless I roll Snake Eyes. But let's see here. It does 1 damage to the Highlander. Highlander has 2 armor left. Now let's see what the crit is. What do I need to roll to just blow this thing outright? Ammo hit. I think the Highlander has case. Oh, totally does. So ammo hit doesn't work. 12. So I need to roll boxcars again to do mech destroyed. What are the odds? All right. I gotta roll separate dice. I can't curse myself. Okay. Let's see if I can get myself a double. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the stupid Firestarter sniping this thing in the head and mech destroyed? No. Instead it's a 5, which is a no critical hit. It's like the direct opposite. It's like, you thought you could take me down? Joke's on you. This is the real Quaid. But it did do 1 damage. And I'll tell you, that's the way the cookie crumbled there. 2 firings left. The little tiny Pegasus tank right here. into the back of the Thunderbolt, continuing its operations before it gets wiped out by the Wasp. 3, 4, 4. Shooting 4 on the Thunderbolt. That is a 7, so it does an additional 2 damage into the back of the Thunderbolt, taking its armor past half. And lastly, the Enforcer is going to take a shot over here at the Phoenix Hawk. The Enforcer at close range does 2 damage, so we're going to just roll for that one. 3 close range, but it jumped, so it's 4. TMM for the Phoenix Hawk is 2, so it's 5, 6. So I need 6s. And that's a 4, so I missed. All of my mechs have fired. And now, in reverse order, we're going to fire with the other guys. I see you guys are all chatting. So, in reverse order, we start with the highest. That would be the Phoenix Hawk. So, the Phoenix Hawk, let's read this now. The Phoenix Hawk, at its range, currently does 3 damage, which means it can destroy the box, and this game will be over. But let us go and take a look. The combat card on the Phoenix Hawk states, and we'll just do it like this for you guys. Oops. Right here. The combat card on the Phoenix Hawk states, can destroy. Well, currently, it can destroy the box if it hits the box, which is pretty scary. Can it destroy the Enforcer? No, it cannot destroy the Enforcer. It's going to shoot the highest health as the next thing, which would be the Enforcer. The lowest range, which would be the Enforcer. No cover. The Enforcer does have cover, but the box does not. And the nearest. But because the combat phase says can destroy, and it goes toward no cover, it will want to shoot the box. So, as they say in the Family Feud, this is for the win. Can the Phoenix Hawk do 3 damage? And the AI just mop the floor with me and kick the crap out of me without wiping a single mech off the board. And if it does, I'm going to hashtag blame Josh forever. Actually, this is my fault. See, Josh built these cards, but I built the mods to the rules, and the mods are kicking my own ass. So I've really difficulted this up, even though I haven't really won against the mods yet. Okay, so thankfully it jumped. The Phoenix Hawk at skill 3, range 2, so it's 5. It has jumped, so 6, 7s. I need 7s to hit. I lied. I need 6s to hit because the box has a TMM of 0. So I need 6s to hit. I'm going to roll 1 die at a time. I'm going to switch these metal ones because... No. I got to stick to these dice. 1 die at a time. 6s to hit. 2. I can't breathe. Because if this is a 4, I lose. 1! Yes! Sit down. Christ, this AI. Oh, I'm crying. Okay, so the box. I'm not crying, but I'm like, I just have to sit down for a second. I gotta drink some green tea. I can't believe that. So thankfully, my dice luck sucks against myself. We're gonna go to this one here, and the son of a gun took a shot at the box, and if I had rolled anything, I rolled a 3. I needed to roll a 6, so I rolled half what I needed. And essentially, that little bastard took a shot at the box, and if he had hit, the game would have been over. But my friends, the game is not over yet. But the Highlander still has to shoot, so hey, I could have been lucky just for the Highlander to kill. So the Phoenix Hawk has fired. Now, I'm going to move to the next thing on the list, which would be the Archer. The Archer is going to shoot what it can destroy. It can shoot the Ontos, the Devastator. That's really all it has targets on. So it basically shoot the lowest TMM, which is either or, no cover, which is either or, and the nearest, which is the Devastator. So the Archer's got a skill of 3, range is 5, TMM is 6. It needs 6s to hit the Devastator. We'll go back to the wide here to show that roll. And a roll of 4. Hey, things are looking up. Archer missed. Sucker. Next on the list is the Blackjack. Blackjack over here. It might have a parting shot on something. Based on line of sight rules, it can actually see the Devastator. And it can see the Ontos. No, hold on. It cannot see the Ontos, but because of the size of the Devastator, it can see the Devastator with cover because we'll say that this ridge gives it cover. So the Blackjack's parting shot, as it's disappearing off the field, it is probably within 24. Nope, long range. So the long range is 4, skill is 3 is 7, 8 for TMM, 9 for cover, 10 for jumping. The Thunderbolt is going 10 for jumping, and here we go. It had a movement point hit, so it actually went as far as it could go with an 8, and so we need 10s. That's a good old solid 3, so see you later, Thunderbolt. Or not Thunderbolt, Blackjack. See ya, Blackjack. It didn't take the movement value. And then next on the list, moving up, is the Catapult. The Catapult is going to go after what it can destroy, which nothing right now. The lowest TMM, and following the rest of its cards' logic, it will go after the Devastator. 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a 7. So the Catapult at medium range does 3 damage, and so we're going to take the Devastator down by 3. Clink. It still has 7 armor. It's laughing. It's like, whatever, Catapult, you're next. And then we're going to do the Highlander. So the Highlander. Let's do this one together here. Let's take a look at the Highlander. The Highlander says what it can destroy, which we know is in fact the box. But here's the rub. The lowest TMM, that's the box. No cover, that's the box. The highest threat, that actually is the box. And then the nearest. Well, the nearest is actually the Fire Stutter, but it meets all 4 of the other conditions in priority, which means it's going to shoot the bloody box. Here we go again, folks. TMM 3. Range long. We know it's long. Just like 26 inches, we're good. 25 inches. So it's 7. No TMM. It gets cover from the... no, it doesn't get cover. So no TMM. So 7. It jumped. So 8. I need 8s. Now, the last time I needed 6s, and I rolled pretty badly. This time I need 8s. So let's see what happens here. Oh, my God. It's a 5. Snake. Guys. Oh, my God. Oh, you guys see that? I needed 8. I rolled a 7. We live. Yeah. Come here, dice. I love you. All right. So the Highlander sucks a big banana and it's gone. And then the next on the list, to keep my tears in check, we're going to go wide here, as the Wasp is going to attempt to kill this poor little Skulker wheel that's like, hey guys, where is everybody? And it's going to take the only shot that it really has. For 2 damage inside this little Skulker, and the Skulker has 2 armor, so it doesn't kill it, actually, because unfortunately the Wasp only does 1 damage. So we're just going to roll. So 3, and 3 is 6, so she's going for 6. That is a 6. So the Skulker has lost both of its armor and has only 1 hull left. It can't do force withdrawal because it just dies. And the last thing is the Thunderbolt. Now the Thunderbolt wants to know what it can destroy. Well, it can destroy the Skulker, but it can't shoot behind it. So therefore, it's going to go to the highest health enemy, which is the Ontos, and clear blank shot on it. Lowest TMM and the nearest, all of it on the Ontos with no cover. Straight up, 3, 4, 5 for range. Straight up, and 1 for the TMM, so 6s. And that is a 5. Not today, Thunderbolt. I mean, total whiff down. Okay. Let's go and take a breather as I remove these tokens, because everything is fired. What do you guys think so far? Is this AI nuts or what? Like, has this just been crazy? I mean, 2 rolls is what it came down to. 2 rolls and a failed series of rolls at that. Otherwise, this game would have been over and we would have had a shorter stream. And I kind of like hanging out with you guys, so I'd like this stream to go a little longer. Okay. Now let me reset the cards. Okay, reset that deck. I'll reset the brawler deck now. So I know you guys can't see off screen. Okay. The blackjacks can be taken off the board. That's great. Skirmisher. And then the Phoenix Hawk and the Archer are strikers. Get those guys back in their positions. Okay. Done. Everything has been reset on that side. Everything has been reset on my side. Now it's time for the good old Anish. I think no matter what happens, they're going to go after the box this turn. I think I'm only... The Pegasus is not dead yet. I think the only... Yeah, the Highlander sucks, the big banana. The only way I'm going to get out of this now is to just run a massive amount of interference. So let's do my best. Initiative. They roll a 5. I roll a 9. We win initiative. So they have to move first. The fastest unit on their board is, in fact, the Wasp this time. And the Wasp, I probably gave him the wrong deck, to be honest. I should have given him a striker. You know what? We're going to swap the Wasp out at this point. I think we think the Wasp needs to go and become a striker. So now the fastest unit, because we can do that. You're allowed to actually swap decks in the middle of combat to switch their positions. And I think at this point, it makes sense to put the Wasp as a striker. First on the list is now the Thunderbolt. That makes more sense. Because it lost initiative, it is going to jump, which it can't jump. So then it will ground move toward to 24 of all enemies and no line of sight or most cover. If the lowest health enemy is further than 24, toward the lowest enemy, toward the fewest enemy in line of sight within 1 into woods cover from most enemies. So it wants to retreat again, like the coward that it is, but it actually wants to get a shot off on something if it can. So it's going to move its 8, and I think it's just going to go back to where it was. It's going to move here. Because it says here, if first, jump to 24 of all enemies. No, it wants to stay within 24, which is anywhere back here. So it's actually gonna go back here. Tuck itself in there and go just on an angle so it can't get rear shot. And that's where it's gonna go. Now we get to go. Not a single mech has been taken off the board yet. Can you believe that, guys? All right, well, first things first. I think the Firestarter is going to go, and the Firestarter is going to stand still. There's a reason for that. I have to goad the AI right now. If I don't goad the AI, I lose the game. I have to game the AI as best as I can. Oh, man. Okay. So the Firestarter has gone. And it did a movement as 0 because I needed to have TMM 0 and stay within range if it can. Next on the list from their side is 243, which is the Catapult, just barely beating the Blackjack. And the Catapult is going to 24 from nearest enemy, into woods cover from most enemies, line of sight with the lowest TMM enemy. So it wants to go within 24, so it is going to move 8 and likely... stay put, actually, because it wants to 224 of the most enemies. So it wants to stay within the range thing. So it's actually going to go back here. So continue to get shots off on these guys because it wants to take out the Goliath. Yeah, there it is. There it goes. It's kind of weird for it to be retreating, but it wants to... Oh, it's interesting how the AI is performing because the AI is backing up a bit to keep within range because it wants to keep fighting these things, which have to keep shooting at the Highlander. So it's actually doing a really good job holding its ground. Over on my side, then, what I'm going to do then is move the Enforcer next. No, I need to see when this Highlander goes. The Highlander goes in a couple of rounds. Goliath is going to stay put. Final answer. Final answer. And now it's their turn. And it would be the Blackjack. Like a clever enemy, the Blackjack is going to force withdrawal 8 off the board, and that's right off the board. So the Blackjack, ladies and gentlemen, our first mech has been removed. Goodbye, Blackjack. We will not miss you. Sweet. The Blackjack is gone. Now we get to go again. I think it's Timberwolf time. It's Timberwolf time. I've moved that. The Goliath has moved. The Devastator has to move. Skulker has to move. Huh. Pegasus isn't going to move yet. Yep, I think it's time for I think it's time for the Devastator. I really wanted no, all right. We'll do the Enforcer. The Enforcer is going to move. Man, this is not good. Yeah. Maybe the Skulker wants to move now. Skulker wants to goad. Yeah, the Skulker is going to make its move now because it's only got 1 health left, so it doesn't really care. And I need to soak initiative. So the Skulker is going to wheel its way around. Yeah. So the Skulker is going to go right in here. It's just going to hide out. Get the hell out of Dodge. Just to goad this stupid fire thing. Skulker's gone. Now they go. Now the Highlander goes next. Okay, it stays stationary if you have cover from enemies and at least 1 enemy within line of sight. It doesn't want that. So it's going to jump to woods cover from most enemies into the line of sight of the lowest health enemy, which would be the box, and toward the nearest enemy. The nearest enemy is the Goliath, but it still wants the lowest health enemy, which would be the Firestarter. So it is still going to make its way over. It's going to continue its march. But it wants to jump towards and get cover from most enemies. Here's what's crazy about this, guys. It's technically going to jump down here and get cover from most enemies and still get a shot off on this Goliath if it wants to. Yeah, that's what it's going to do. So this thing wants to move toward the box, so that's going away. It wants to jump down. It's going to jump down in here. All right, so let's put this camera on. Oop, it's the wrong one. Nope, wrong one again. There we go. It's going to jump down into here and claim cover from inside this thing here, this track. So there it goes. In there, it's going to get no shots off on the box this turn, but it is going to be able to likely jump up to get it next turn. And to be honest, it goaded my 2 guys to stand still, which means they're not firing this round. So that stinks. Now, on our side, I've got to be real smart about this. So now it's time to move the Goliath. And the Goliath and the Highlander they're going to have to mix it up, I think. So we're going to move the Goliath into cover here. And I think, man, we'll talk about Titans warfare here. Short range on each other. Titan warfare, folks. The clash of the Titans happening right there. It's going to take on that Highlander. And then, so that would be the Devastator went. The Goliath went. Now they've got 3 guys left, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to move another one, and then I'm going to move 2, 1, 1. But we won. Okay. So here we go. The Wasp goes next. Toward the lowest health enemy, which is still the little Pegasus. Yeah, so basically, it's got the movement to get right in there. Actually, technically, it has a 16 jump, but it doesn't say jump. So it does have a 16 move, so it can actually go. Yeah. So it will go here and claim cover from the Pegasus, which cannot shoot back. Okay, well, it's going to kill the Pegasus. Well, that's fine. Back to the wide for a second. We have to move 1, and then they move 1. No, we move 2. Then they move 1. Then I move 1. Then they move. Okay. So we got to move 2. 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, we move 2. Pegasus Scout Tank. How fast does that thing go? It's a 16 hover. Can it get behind this guy by rolling in around this way? Let's see here. Is it time for it to come over here and take on the catapult? Yeah, it's time. So that Pegasus is going to roll over here. Oh. And I believe, if positioned correctly, it is, we'll go to this camera here. I believe if positioned correctly, it is out of the arc of the catapult and is going to take some pot shots. It won't get the rear bonus and damage, but it'll take some pot shots on it. As you can see, it's coming right in, dun, 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 right into the catapult. I suppose I would have placed the catapult in a better placement like this, but I didn't. So that's the way it is. And that would be the Pegasus. And now I have to move one more because it's 2 for 1 because we're figured out here. Now the Enforcer is going to be a problem, but I think the Ontos. It's time for the Ontos to move. The Ontos moves 6. Then the Archer is going to get him. So I got to be very, very careful how I move this. Yeah. Into cover. That's where the tank's going to go. But I'm going to put him on an angle so he doesn't get rear shot from the little fire starter. And now he's got shots on a whole bunch of different things. Now they get to go. The next on the list is the Phoenix Hawk. The Phoenix Hawk is inside the base. So it's going to jump toward the highest movement value enemy that has not yet moved. To woods cover from the most enemies towards the highest movement value enemy, which is not anything in there except for probably the Enforcer. Into woods cover from most enemies toward the lowest health enemy you can get behind. That's the box, toward the nearest enemy. It is going to jump 12. This is so scary. It is going to jump 12 and claim cover from the Goliath and just get right behind that box. Oh my God. Here we go again, folks. It's going to come down to at least a roll. Ugh. Well, now the Enforcer is going to go. And the Enforcer is not going to jump. The Enforcer is just going to move right behind. And just for the sake, I'm just going to take this pillar and move it aside so you can see this cluster that's happening right now. So once again, if you're new watching the channel right now, this box is the objective. The AI has to destroy the box. It will come down to a roll. This thing will get a chance to roll on the box because everything's shot simultaneously. And we've got a couple of chances to destroy it, but no matter what happens, it'll get a chance to... Oh, man, this is crazy. Oh, we've got some raiders. Hello, raiders. Let me see that right now real quick here. Welcome, for those of you that are raiding. Thanks so much for joining us. We're playing a Battletech Aces scenario, and that Battletech Aces is an AI, and that AI is kicking my ass right now. Yeah, it really should have. You're right, Spec. You're right, it should have. But the AI, I'm following. So the whole point about testing the AI at this point is to follow its rules as written. And currently, the decisions that were made back then, I don't know what the logic was, but it wanted to go toward cover based on its AI. And because it didn't have cover from most enemies, it wanted to get cover from most enemies. And the only way to get cover from it would be to go under the bridge. And jumped into woods covers from most enemies. And so I was following the logic on the card, even though the AI, even though as a player, I would have shot the box. So it is so we've seen the minis at this point do 2 incredible AI moves toward the victory of the game, and I think that was the first time we've seen the AI perform not or suboptimal to the game. What it did do, however, if it was a preservation game, because it is basically within I think it preserved itself. I don't know. So that is something we got to work out. I mean, this is a long process with this AI, and there's a lot more work behind the scenes we've been putting on it. But for now, I think it's performing. I think it's about 70% there. We've got a lot of tweaking to do, and of course, don't forget this is me. Working on some scenario modification rules without the decks being properly upgraded. So, yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, the cluster of crap that's going on back here. So we'll just put one token for each of those. And now they get to move, and then we get to move the Timberwolf left. So the archers last. And the archer's commands are, if the highest movement value enemy is not yet moved, move to woods cover from most enemies. Well, they've all moved except for the Timberwolf, which has a pretty good thing. Toward the highest movement value enemy, which is at this point where it is would be the Pegasus tank, but toward the lowest TMM, which would be the Devastator, and the closest, which would be the Devastator, and into woods cover. So it actually, strategically enough, because that archer wants to stay long range, it wants to be long range. Oh no, it wants to be medium range. It might actually move. Doesn't want to get behind this thing. So it might actually just strategically move here because it'll get the Devastator and it wants to be in medium range. So and it doesn't have the command to stay still. So it's actually just going to go here. No, actually. Oh, interesting. Still wants to stay medium range. So nothing. So this is the only thing that can shoot at it. So actually, and this can still shoot at it no matter what it does. It's going to go here because it gets point of cover from the tank. It gets medium range there. It can shoot the tank or the Devastator. And it gets its medium range from both. So it's going to go right there. It gets best of both worlds against both. And it might be able to take a hit from the tank. No, I don't like that. I don't think that's what it'll do. I think I'm going to stick with my gut instinct, which is to get away from the Ontos entirely, because that would make sense, and actually move over here. Stays to cover here, and it's going to take shots over at the Devastator, which is the command on the card. So yeah, that's what's going to go. The cool thing about this AI is that you actually... Oh, here, sorry. There you go. The cool thing about the AI is that you still have to have some subjectivity to it, so you still have to be somewhat honorable with what you're doing. And it was here, and according to its card, here we go. According to its card, it basically wants to jump or move if the highest movement value enemy has not moved yet. Well, the highest movement value enemies have moved, so it goes down toward the highest movement value enemy, which would be the Pegasus, but then it wants to go toward the lowest TMM you can get behind into woods cover from most enemies toward nearest enemy. Let's reschedule this. It was in there. Now let's see who's the farthest. So that is 12, and that is 11. So he still wants to get to the Devastator, but he wants to get behind the Devastator, which is kind of a death wish. No way. It can get right there because it can go right through this thing. This is a movable path. It can actually get in here. It will get cover from the tank and be able to shoot the Devastator from behind. I'm so glad I reread that card. There you go. Damn. Good play, Archer. It does give. Just wait. The tweaks that we've been doing already. I've been playing the AI tonight with a couple of tweaks already and a couple of scenario mods, and I think it's even deadlier than it was before. And the last thing to move is the Timberwolf, which I actually forgot was behind this wall. So the Timberwolf has to make a choice here. The Timberwolf. I'm going to assume that the Phoenix Hawk's going to get his face blown off. So the Timberwolf is going to... All right. Help me out here. Stream. Here's what we got. I got a Timberwolf right here. I got this stupid Phoenix Hawk shooting the box. The box is probably going to get shot up this turn, and if it does, it dies. However, the Goliath has a turret and it can shoot 360 with the turret, so it can actually shoot this thing. And this enforcer can shoot it from the backside. So between the two of them, they should be able to take the Phoenix Hawk down. And if Phoenix Hawk down, Black Hawk down. If the Phoenix Hawk goes down and doesn't shoot the box, then we're safe for the time being. But of course, if it shoots the box, we lose. My question is, do I go double? But if they don't kill the Phoenix Hawk and the Phoenix Hawk still hasn't killed the box, there's another round of pushing my luck. But I could take the Timberwolf, move it over, and just blow the crap out of that thing just to ensure that it's gone. 3 mechs on 1. Or I could literally just step out the gates here and just blow the crap out of this archer and get it off the board. If it were mech to mech, I would blow that archer off the board. I think I need to go and take out, just to ensure that this Phoenix Hawk gets smoked. The Phoenix Hawk has 3 armor and 2 hull. The Enforcer is going to do 3 damage to it, and the Goliath is going to do 3 damage to it. So that's enough to kill it, but that means both have to hit. So I think the correct play is to take my Timberwolf, and he's going to move 10 and get into the fray over here. I think that's the correct play. I want to move him over. Yeah. Yep. I have to. I got to push. I got to push hard because if yeah, kill the Phoenix Hawk. Yeah, you guys are with me on this one. I appreciate it. I mean, I'm very, very new to this game, so the fact that I'm designing for it is almost sacrilege. But hey, some of the Lynnvanderians on the site know that I'm very good at getting in. Oh, I've been working for Catalyst forever, including Shadowrun and stuff, which is coming up. Okay, all of my movement is complete. It's time to shoot. And in Aces, just for those of you watching again, all the human players get to shoot first, but everybody gets their shot, so it is what it is. And I could just roll for the darn Phoenix Hawk to see if it kills the box, but let's build the tension up and see how much damage, see how much C-bills I can cost these guys. So first things first, let's drop that Devastator into the Highlander and see if we can get that thing on the run. Devastator. Short range is 6 damage, but it is shooting a skill 3. Short range for nothing. TMM is 1, so 4, and it gets cover, so 5s. So 5 defense, or 5 here. Let's see what happens. Let's cut over to the cam here. There is a 9. So 6 damage into the Highlander, which it only has 2 armor left. So we're going to go clink, clink, 2 armor, and then 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that is enforced withdrawal mode. Let's roll a crit and see what happens. That is a 5, which I think is nothing happens. No critical hit. All right, so no critical hit. However, that Highlander is enforced withdrawal, but we'll get to do a shot. So that means it's no longer going to go after the target. We've declared win on that one. On that side there, I think we've secured the front. We just need to take this Phoenix Hawk down and not let it kill the box in the process. So we're not out of the woods yet. It's still going to get quite gross. There's still a lot of damage being dealt on this battlefield right now. The next thing we're going to shoot at is the Pegasus, or the little scout tank cannot take a shot there. The Ontos is going to... The Ontos has a turret, so it can shoot the Thunderbolt. Let's see here. Whoops, it's the wrong one. There we go. I keep hitting that wrong button. The Ontos can shoot the Thunderbolt with cover, or it can shoot this little fire starter and get it off the field, or the Wasp, and just erase it from existence. The other thing it can do is it can take a cover shot on the catapult to take it out. It's basically in good position, although this is pretty high up, so I'm going to say it can't shoot the catapult. It only gets a shot on the Thunderbolt or the Wasp. The Wasp is TMM 3. It moves. It'll be 3, 6. It's medium range, 7, 8. It'd be 8s to take the Wasp out. No, yeah, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. It'd be 9s to take the Wasp out, or the Thunderbolt being a 1 TMM, it would be 3, 4 for cover, 5, 6. So 6s. Yeah, we're gonna take this Thunderbolt down because if I hit it, it's forced withdrawing off the table here. So the Ontos is gonna take a shot Here we go. It's going to take a shot. Oh, we're on the wide again. Let's go to this one. The Ontos over here is going to take a shot over here on the Thunderbolt. Stay on the wide there. Right here. So 3. Cover is 4. Range 5, 6. TMM 7. So I need 7s. That would be 6. So the Ontos misses. Oh, whiff. And Devastator took that out. Pegasus into the side of the catapult. 3. Short range 0. TMM for the catapult is 1. So 3 is 4. So I need 4s. That would be 6. So 6 into the back of the catapult. The Pegasus is not into the back, though. Pegasus deals 2 damage to the catapult, taking 2 of its 6 armor down. Chink, chink, chink. It's a little bit down every time. And then we're going to go to the crazy scene. Here we go. I'm even going to roll the dice in here because I can. All right, the crazy scene. Here's what we got. Let's just wipe this thing off the board. Let's get the Timberwolf on it. Timberwolf takes a shot. So it's got 3, short range 0. The TMM for the Phoenix Hawk is 2. So 3, 4, 5. And it does not get cover from the Timberwolf. So 5. For 5 damage, which would just kill it, I need 5s. So I roll them right here. You can see it. That would be an 8. Take that over to a 2. It's an 8. It was an 8. So we did it. We took it out entirely. Phoenix Hawk takes 5. Boom, 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 which wipes it out in our first mech destruction of the game. But it will get to shoot the box. So even though it may have sacrificed its life, it is likely still have a chance to make the game a win. And then everything else in there does not get to shoot, because there's nothing else to shoot. So that is it for my firing. Well, let's just see what happens, right, guys? Oh, that was 1. Let's just see what happens, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The Phoenix Hawk jumped. Oh, I still hit it. It's fine. The Phoenix Hawk jumped. Play the game right, guys. Phoenix Hawk jumped. It is 3, 0 TMM. 0 for range. Jumping is 4. I'm toast. This is bad. 4. Is there any other modifiers? 4. Okay. What are the odds of snake eyes? Oh, that would be a 10. That's a 10. So, well, they blow each other up. And sadly, the AI defeats me. Oh, damn. Wow. That was awesome. The AI has taken me out. Well, there it is. There you go, guys. That was a scenario amongst scenarios, which we can, let's discuss this now. I just lost to the AI. And this is great. That was phenomenal. I mean, just out of posterity, let's see what would have happened with the Highlander back on the Devastator, even though I don't think it could have taken the Devastator out. With the 7, it would have hit the Devastator and would have done 4 damage, which would have still given it a lot of armor. Catapult, Archer. Archer would have done 5, which is 3, 4. Yeah, so the Archer would have done 6. So the Devastator was dead this turn entirely. 11 damage is enough to put it into force withdrawal, plus the catapult probably shooting it. We have a 10 on the Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt shot back at the Ontos and hit the Ontos and would have done 3 damage to it, bringing the Ontos' armor down. And then the little guy would have shot on the scout tank and would have not hit the scout tank. So that at least is good news. And the catapult would have, just following the catapult's range, what can it destroy? It would have tried to finish off the Goliath because it's the only thing it can hit. And the catapult would have not hit the Goliath, but the Goliath was in forced withdrawal. So at the end of this round, the Goliath, if the box had survived, We would have lost our sorry, not the Goliath, the Devastator. We would have lost our Devastator. We would have forced withdrew the Highlander, and the fight would have continued. It would have changed everything over. That the Archer could have moved in to take the box out. So what's interesting is, yeah, we definitely like wow. Yeah, that was great. Chat GPT for the win. Yeah, the so let's have a little chat about this because the cards are extremely brutal this time round, which is crazy. Just taking a look back here at some of the chat that we had that I missed. Um, yeah, the cards were insane. I did modify them. So the one thing we did last time that we didn't do this time is that. So the one thing we didn't do last time that I did this time is that right now there's a command on the card that says "can destroy," and we have a new command that I'm going to try the next scenario we do, and that is that new scenario is going to be a tag team one, where if two mechs can shoot the same mech, and the first mech hits, the second mech will change its priority to hit it to try and take it off the board. So there's going to be a bunch of tag teams. If we had that rule in play, perhaps the Highlander. There's also going to be objective rules where the objective becomes top priority. So the Highlander, like Spec was saying, and the Highlander would have run along, spotted, and blew the crap out of the device. So to be honest, when planning these scenarios, I didn't quite. I just built the terrain randomly and then put the objectives up and then just saw what happened. Right. What's really cool is that the AI won. I mean, there's some Seabell damage here. We did take out their Highlander, and we did take out their Blackjack, and we did do a significant amount of damage to the Catapult, the Thunderbolt, the Bolt, all the bolts. But they did some damage to us. They had our Skulker and our Pegasus, and the Devastator was taken out. So it was a battle, that's for sure. This is Tinkerturf terrain for those of you watching. Yeah, so the tag team command we're working on is when certain. It's mainly for certain decks like Sniper and Striker, where they will change the command of who they're shooting based on the likelihood of force withdrawal or destruction, or if other units can hit it as well, especially if it's an objective one, because it will prioritize the threat on the board and try to take them out. Uh, yeah, that's right, Joe. If the AI gets smart enough, it'll be like Skynet. It'll just like take over the Innersphere. Um, so would it have made a change if the box had cover? No. I needed to roll 4. I rolled 10. There's very few modifiers that could have been stacked up to get me to that point. To be honest, I made this a little harder for myself to begin with because I wanted to see if the AI would prioritize destroying that box. And at first, it didn't. At first, the AI was playing against my mechs. I think what actually made it difficult for me, and I will go to the wide for this, I think what actually battle report time. I think what made it difficult is that there was enough of units coming in over here, and they were running in through this side of the building to get in from this side. And I only put a couple of mechs over here, and I started moving them away, which then forced them to move toward the target in there. And I didn't have enough cover to protect them because I threw everything at this Highlander, which was sitting over here and causing all the damage. Come here, little Highlander. Get out and take a bow. You scared the crap out of everybody, right? And so this Highlander caused me to panic a little bit as a player, and I probably could have played smarter. I shouldn't have let them get this close to the wall, and they got through the wall. The skirmish out in the battlefield here made sense because the Thunderbolt was going back and forth, the Catapult was going back and forth, the Archer was moving around. It just seemed like it was a bit of a shooting fest out here. But it's almost like if you really wanted to, put a pointer to it, it's almost like the AI was deterring the big guys out here. And I thought I could have enough time to indirect fire. What I probably should have done is come out and goad some of the AI's attacks to give myself more time and take the damage. But I think I was just too. I think as a player, I was too afraid to take the damage and lose my mechs. I honestly think that's what I was too afraid of doing. I didn't want to like. I was gonna see if I can get this thing in focus here. Come on, autofocus, do your job. There we go. I just didn't want to. Let's see here if I can get this thing going. Come here, you. There we go. I just didn't want to lose my mechs, so I was not playing optimal for the mission here. And I let myself tango with that. You can see the Devastator and the Highlander there. I let myself tango with the Highlander a little too much. And I think that's the battle report for that one. The box's objective was fairly easy for them to get to. I did not realize that the Highlander was built as a. I'll show you here. Was built as a sniper. It was built as a sniper, and the sniper deck did exactly what it was supposed to. It went for the target and it sniped it right there. Just took the sniper out. And what can I say? It got in there, made me panic. The one that actually got the kill was the Phoenix Hawk, and the Phoenix Hawk was under a striker, so it moved in and it did its job. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. I think that this next test of the four decks and the system to date with the scenario and a couple of the modifications and tweaks that we've been doing. Just to let you know, we received a significant amount of feedback for Aces, and it was almost resoundingly positive. The only negative was that for the actual really hardcore players that know how to play the game really well, they thought the AI was a little too easy to game. And you're absolutely correct. It is too easy to game, but that's because we are tweaking the AI as we go. But some of the modifications that we've made to the cards, even today, I was implying some of them, and it was a lot harder to outmaneuver these guys. There were, of course, as you saw earlier with the Highlander, there were a few weirdo exceptions to the rules, but that's the way it goes. So you got to have a little bit of fun. Well, there you have it. That is the scenario. We did not try to game it when we tested it here. Oh no, it's good to keep testing it. I mean, trying to game the AI, like trying to fool the AI, is part of my job playtesting this and developing it, because I want to make sure that the AI. There's no way we're going to get the AI completely proofed to the point where it's going to just completely, impenetrable thought process. But we can get it pretty close to a good behavior system. And with a couple of the cheats that the AI does to keep it thinking more like a human with human fallacy, it's it's good to have that, and I think that it'll grow as we change the decks and do whatever we can, right? Hey, Six Sense Gaming, do you publish your mods on we haven't published the mods to Aces anywhere yet. We are doing a few more rounds of upgrades, and then we will be publishing it as for a second round of feedback through the Catalyst site of some sort. We've had a meeting with Catalyst yesterday. I don't know the full details. I can't speak on behalf of them, but we will be publishing some upgrades, which is or some updates on the site that you can use. 12 mechs versus 10 clan mechs, and the AI won. Yeah, the AI just beat me right now. It literally just beat me by getting to the objective and taking it out. So there is going to be difficulty scales in Aces, and some of the difficulty scales, the simplest difficulty scales will be things like your attack value or your skill rating, I should say. But there will also be difficulty lines in some of the cards that state that it will get to do more higher priority missions that will make it more difficult to deal with. But right now, I think it's pretty much playing the game the way it needs to be played. The feedback was very positive, and I'm pretty stoked about it. So yeah, it's let's see, in smaller seconds, it was not as hard to beat the AI. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like if it's a 4-on-4 like Lance v Lance, it's not as hard to beat the AI. I've noticed that as well. The AI gets significantly better when it has more options on the battlefield. which I'm going to test next. I think it would be neat to see if it can perform adequately with more mechs or less mechs on the battlefield against me. Although last week's episode, when we did this, we had it was Timberwolf down, where we had to extract the information, and the AI had 4 mechs in the Lance, and we had 6 in the Lynnvander one, and we managed to extract the information and get out, which is this is part 2 now. Now they've destroyed it, so now we're back to even Steven. But we managed to get out only with the Enforcer. The Enforcer was the only one that got out. All of my mechs were destroyed, like basically toast. And they only lost their Thunderbolt. No, they only lost their Warhammer, and everything else was totally fine. So uh, I like this Tinkerturf terrain, to be honest. I'm just gonna say, like, I love the Hex Tech and I love this Tinkerturf. I think I'm gonna use this Tinkerturf again and set this up. So just to let you know, I won't be doing my regular Battletech stream next week. I'm going to Chicago to the Anime Central exhibition, so ASIN, where I will be doing live D&D. So we'll be doing live D&D on the channel here. I look forward to having you guys watch D&D with us. Hopefully, some of you are D&D fans, because it'd be great to have you hang out and watch us on the channel there. We're going to be playing with Faye Mata. She's Lulu in League of Legends, and she's been in Breath of the Wild. She's been in pretty much 100 different anime. So if you're a big fan of anime, she's a voice actor and a very accomplished video gamer and a role player. So we're playing with Faye Mata. Elisa Teague, and myself, and Vince Castle is a dungeon master. Devin, of course, will be there. And we've got a few other celebrities involved, so it should be a really fun time. That's next week at ASIN, Anime Central in Chicago. If you're in Chicago, come find me. Even if you're not there to watch D&D and you're part of the BattleTech community, come and talk to me. I'd love to talk to you more in person about this stuff. I mean, look, if I could get BattleTech there, which we might do, because I mean, think about it, BattleTech is basically just like a much more badass Gundam. If we could get BattleTech there, we could do that next year. But the next place that I'll be at for BattleTech, or where we, Six Sides and Lynnvander, will be at, is in June on the 22nd. We will be at GameCon Canada in Alberta, where we will be playing BattleTech and talking about Aces and streaming. And Josh will be there representing. I will be representing. So we will be streaming on YouTube, on our YouTube channel there, and simultaneously we'll be streaming live play D&D with some pretty hefty names from the Guild and other enterprises at Origins Game Fair in Columbus, Ohio. On the same weekend, I will be streaming Dungeons and Dragons live on stream on Twitch here, and then Josh will be streaming YouTube out there in the Six Sides YouTube. If you haven't had a chance to go and hop on over and do a little subby bubby, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is YouTube/Six Sides of Gaming. I'll put that real quick in there. Give you guys a quick hotkey to go and check out. But here we go. And I'll answer your questions in just a second. But there you go. There's that. Let me read some of your chats here. What do we got? The 2 Alpha Strikes, I see here. Thank you for the where will you be posting updates again on your website? So Catalyst itself, I don't know where they posted the updates. Catalyst will post. Give me a second here. Let me just. If I'm going to talk for a little bit, let me do the talk. Let me talk, okay? Let me talk. Over here. Just going to bring this guy up and over. Let me hop it over. There. Okay. Hey, everybody. How's it going? I have to look at the chat down here. Let's see here. TikTok. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. I think I just accidentally refreshed the chat, which made me lose all those questions. Re-ask the questions if you can. I would love to. So where? I don't know where Catalyst puts them. I think they have an MUL for the Kickstarter backers to download, and if you back the if you back the if you jump into the backer kit because you missed the Kickstarter, you should be able to get them from there. Uh, so that makes sense. Now, the scenarios that you're seeing here aren't actually published because I didn't write these out. I'm literally making these scenarios up and doing small tweaks and mods and writing out a couple of rules. They're not formable to post anywhere. We can just, you can just take what I'm doing here and just reapply it and try your own stuff, really. So that's the next thing we're going to do. I will say that we are going to be doing a 6 sides Battletech focused Patreon that will post a lot of these scenarios and a lot of the mods and stuff that we're doing there. But we have to discuss with Catalyst right now what they're doing because the product line for Aces is in the queue. It's the next, I don't know, but we have to figure out, we have to let Catalyst take the lead on where Aces comes from, where we're going with it. We know that it is a little bit downstream, not too far. They got to get the pledge manager up for the Mercenary Kickstarter, but after that, it is pretty much rock and roll. And then we're going to do some Aces stuff, and I'm not sure its rollout plan. We've got a lot of hypothesis for the rollout plan, but there's going to be a good rollout plan. What do we got here? Let's see. Now let me read this without hopefully not wrecking the screen by losing it by accident. The current Aces playtest rules are on a Google. Oh, thank you, Lorcan. That's right. They're on a Google link from Update 2 on the Kickstarter page. Can you drop a note on Discord about the time you will stream, if/when you know? Are you talking about for this stuff? So generally, I'm going to make Fridays my Battletech day, Friday afternoons. I said 2:00. I'm going to have to probably make it 3 because I keep getting into lunch meetings and phone calls and things that last until about 1:30. And I keep thinking that I can set this up, but we just finished filming a huge D&D show with like Greenwood and all those folks. And so I had to reset the studio to build this entire platform. And I had Devin to help, thank God, or I probably wouldn't be streaming until starting now. And so I'm going to be running Aces fairly regularly on the weeks for the weeks that I'm in the studio. If I'm traveling, which is a lot in June, I'm going to do my best to try and film this stuff as I go along. Was this scenario part of the Chaos campaign? No, this scenario was not. This scenario was my brew. I am testing out the rules of the cards in scenarios by messing with the priorities in an uneducated way, meaning that I'm doing high-level hypothesis design where I'm looking at it going, here's the logic chart, here's what they're doing. If I tweak one element of that logic chart, how different will they behave? And what you saw was they did the job. So now I take that detail back to Josh, because Josh is really the mastermind behind the engine here. And he'll take those scenarios and he'll pump that stuff into the AI to make sure that it's understood how we did this. What is a Chaos campaign? If I would like to see you do Aces run using Alpha Strike rules on a hex map. Yes, I have a hex map. I'd like to do that. So maybe what I'll do for the next one, I kind of want to use the Tinkerturf again once, but one of the next ones I do, I will do hex because I think it's really cool to see Alpha Strike hex, which is a different play entirely because you don't need the measurements. You don't use these. You use the hexes per inches, and it's very fast. It's very good. We did it with Fox Network, actually. Yes, it does struggle from the vehicle's AI. A type of campaign framework Battletech uses. There's a free PDF called Chaos. Yep. How we doing? Thunderhead, how you doing? I lost today. I'm gonna blame the Tinkerturf terrain. We used Tinkerturf, one of our other big sponsors of the channel. They gave us a bunch of Tinkerturf, so we decided to set this beautiful map up. You can check it out. We decided to set this beautiful map up here, which was a big fort siege. Wish I could just like show you guys what it looks like from the other angles, but it's this massive fort siege, and we used all this Tinkerturf terrain, which is great. Next week the next time we do this video, we're gonna go and do hex tech, but we're gonna do not just hex tech, but we're gonna try and do hex terrain. Let's see here. What else we got here? She played them at this okay, yeah, so yeah, I just do the 1v1, which I like. So that's it for Aces. I think there's a lot more to it. I know that some people in the feedback have used the Aces cards as is for Classic, and it worked. It actually kind of worked not too bad. And we did do some design for Classic. We're actually trying to figure. We're actually internally trying to do some cool design where we have Classic commands in different texts. So if you're playing Classic, you can do the different text kind of thing. We're also working on rules for the alternate damage system. So instead of rolling for all-in-one hits, you roll for the scattered damage. So each point of damage you can do, you roll for, which actually sounds weird but it actually speeds the game up because instead of rolling 1 dice for 7 damage, you're rolling 7 sets of dice for potentially 7 sets of damage. But over the course of multiple firing, you're doing more damage likelihood and a higher fish for crits, to be honest. Let's see here. I can make some rule suggestions if you want to do Hextech plus Alpha Strike. Oh, I mean, I've done the Hextech with a Hex Grid Alpha Strike before with Fox Network. It's fun. I actually prefer it because I don't mind these tape measures, but it's a little too. I'm going to age myself here. It's a little too Mage Knight for my old days, but I still don't mind it. And I just love hexes entirely. So if you have any more questions, that's great. Otherwise, I think we're good. I think we lost. So here you go. There's the wide again. Again, the objective was the enemy was coming in from here. They had to get to this little box that was hidden over here. Lynnvander was trying to defend. The mercenaries of Lynnvander were trying to defend, and Lynnvander failed horribly. They did an okay job in keeping the enemy somewhat at bay, and they did a significant amount of damage. But in the end game, in where the box was sitting right here, we had this lucky go powerful. Here's right here, the star of the show. Put him back in there just to show everybody. The box was there, and the son of a gun flew in over the wall here, and then skirmished with the team. Got in behind the box before we could destroy him. And the Phoenix Hawk, before the Phoenix Hawk went down, it destroyed the box and won the objective. So. It was a great game. Yes, I had a really good time with everybody. So don't forget, if you thank you for everyone who threw some stuff at the channel. Thank you for those of you in YouTube who threw some stuff at the channel. You guys are really, really amazing. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's that. I think I'm just gonna chill out and drink my tea now. This Tinkerturf stuff is phenomenal. Look at it. It's really good. I mean, it's not X-Tech. I'm kidding. I love you, Tinkerturf. But it's cardboard, right? And it's all correlated properly. This is like Josh's dream. And you cut it. It's all punch board. You punch out, and you just put together, and you glue it, and it becomes this easy, stable terrain that just looks really good. Look at this. It's so good, right? And then you got stairs. These are cool stairs. So I didn't build it exactly like some of the stuff in the box came. I wanted to just build my own scenario. So I built some stuff like that. You got this cool rail track. It pops out like this, and it can go flat. It's got the correlation in it, so it's a little bit flexible. And you just put it onto the track like this, like that, nice and stable. And then it just kind of attaches, and then you can put your mechs up. Your mechs go along the train. The catapult there. We'll put the blackjack there, and there you go. You get this this little train of mechs. I love this stuff. I don't know why I didn't get into this sooner. This is too cool. Love it. Everyone, thanks to us for watching. I will. If the train is cardstock, yeah, it is. It is. Tinkerturf is all cardstock. This is literally couple layers of card glued together and some slotted together pieces. That's what it is. It's awesome. So, okay. Well, there's the wide. Give you guys take a look at that while I head on over to shut down the old streameroni. Thank you guys for watching. Please check out and sub to our the mugs from Estonia. That's don't forget to check us out and sub and all that fun stuff. We appreciate all the support, and we'll talk to you guys